How you can make millions tax free. You hear me right. How you can make millions tax free. Now, the property wealth secrets I'm going to share with you. We know that property is very close to the hearts of many people who are living in Australia, and most of the people invest in property either as a mom and dad investors, wealthy firms, rich Australians, wealthy Australians. Many are strategized themselves also in the self-managed super fund. And that's where it becomes very important to understand what are the costs which you can actually use, or what are the benefits of investing your money, your funds through the property. And certainly, an asset class property has some major benefits that many other assets or classes do not have. So I prepared my notes on that. Certainly, there is a negative gearing associated with the property, but when you add depreciation, this benefit is multiple. Now, the other aspect is being able to be creative with the tax planning, something you cannot do easily with other asset classes. For example, you can prepare interest, or sorry, I'll probably say, for example, if you can prepay interest on your properties, if in a 1 year you have a CGT event or are facing a large tax bill, that's another way of doing the tax planning. Are you aware of this? Maybe not. That's why you need a trusted tax advisor like me. Now, there is a high net worth people never accept that nothing can be done about tax and always look for advantage. I think what we need to understand is that why people have used the property investment as one of the ways to become rich and rich and rich. Now, by using the system like tax incentives, depreciation, gearing the power of the time, that makes a big difference. It's all about the strategic mindset. It all is here. How you properly strategize that with the help of a tax planner, tax planning, how you do it as a tax efficient, optimal structure. Now you just need to change your thinking about debt and how you use it as a method to accelerate your wealth. However, always make sure you can meet your loan commitments to avoid becoming a victim of the banks. And remember that the debt becomes less relevant over time as inflation pushes prices up, while the original investment loan size stays the same or reduces. So one of the strategy is that you have your investment property loan interest only for a couple of years. That also helps when you sell, that there's a capital growth, even though the loan value is still the same, but you still make money out of it. Use the equity in your mortgages to buy more investment properties, because quite simple, the more properties you own, the greater you're exposed to a long-term property growth. Another secret comprises two keywords: never sell. Never sell. That's me telling you. Property owners typically experience 2 or 3 cycles of massive gains during their lifetimes. That is what I've experienced and researched and analyzed, followed by leveling up of peaks. Compounding investment returns grow over years and decades thanks to the power of time. Now, you all have heard Kerry Packer. Kerry Packer always owned all his property. He really rented any business premises. He considered rent as a dead money. This is another thing. It's about the mindset. Now, properties do move into a positive gearing in time, following an initial period of negative gearing where costs outweigh income and the investor can claim a tax deduction from the difference. Everyone say you are subsidizing the rich or subsidizing the rich and have all these incentives for the rich, and we should horn back the system to look after the poor people. But actually, that's not true. A lot of rental properties are owned by nurses, police. A large percentage is owned by your average person. It's not just true that all are owned by wealthy Australians. So, what is his top piece of advice for anyone wanted to a rich using a property? Well, the younger the better. It's never too late to start. The key to save for the first deposit, then over time continue to acquire one property every 5 years or less, depending upon the property cycle. If you purchase one property for every 5 years, let's say a million each property, your property portfolio in 25 years would be 27.5 million in future dollars. Even if you borrowed 100%, you would only own 5 million on that portfolio. Now, these are some secrets about the property investment, how you can scale up by changing your mindset. This is Sebi, your trusted tax advisor. Until next time, take care. Bye.